Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then it's absolutely blessed. I feel blessed to have you here. Thank you for your presence. If you're one of my OGs, then welcome back. I'm coming on with a bit of a different introduction here. In fact, I feel like I need to reintroduce myself. So, my name is Sarah, and many of you here know me, some longer than others, and you know the things that I do and I have done to a certain extent from what I've shared and offered. And I opened this channel, I set up this channel to do card readings. I knew that my channel was changing and my service was changing, my offering, and I was really enjoying doing the readings, so I thought, I'll do that. But I've been going through a bit of a journey in the last year. So I am Sarah, that's who I've always been. It's my grandmother's name. And at this point in my life, and I'll always be her, but Sarah represents my lineage, the past, the way I've always been, my personality constructs, and in a lot of ways my trauma and heaviness, my smallness. And in the last year I've been having an experience in my personal journey which has been so deep for the last 4-5 years. Deeper than ever. I mean, I'd been on a healing path for like 6 years already. By 2019, 2020, but that was nothing compared to what started to happen then. So it's been a very deep personal path anyway, and the last year it just got so much deeper. I'm going through my Chiron return, which is a once in a lifetime astrological placement happening. But Chiron represents the wounded healer, so it's an opportunity basically for the healing of a lifetime, the integration of a lifetime. And I knew that I was on a massive journey of releasing identity, and that's what I've been doing. So I dropped a lot of what I had been doing, offering. Done group programs, 3-month programs, online workshops, one-to-one sessions, all of this stuff. I didn't want to identify with any specific thing. Nothing felt fully aligned. I felt like I was moving away from the structure and the way that I'd always done things. And that was okay. I knew there was a bigger purpose in that. I resisted it a bit, but I did let a lot of it go. The last year particularly, I've almost had no, one-to-ones, haven't been sharing space in the... I've done the odd one on request. But other than that, it's all been a different type of service. So it's moved into a more boots on the ground type of thing, not a marketed financial work structured sessions like I'd always done. That didn't feel aligned. So the last year I've spent a lot of time in a different type of service. I spent 6 months working in the Muslim community in Bradford, and then I spent 3 months in Glastonbury, completely surrendered, in the sense of I've been wild camping for 3 months. No real resources or the usual comforts. I was guided to sleep on the land, to pray, to do grid work, and to have conscious conversations with all manner of people fluidly every day. And it's been absolutely transformational. very deep, because obviously the grid there is very healing anyway. So a lot of personal healing and realizations and initiations. So it's been very, very deep, but that's a different type of service. Just because it doesn't have the structure, I'm not getting paid for it. We are still in service, just through being who we are, through walking on the land, through being conscious, through sharing our light in just a smile or a conversation with people, a change of perspective for somebody. It's the most beautiful type of interaction. It's the most beautiful way to live, and to not put the financial aspect, the earning, the money, the bills in the same space as your spiritual service, your purpose, your calling. It's actually very freeing to kind of, not to have them woven in that way, and to take all pressure, obligation and emphasis on money around how we offer ourselves and how we share. So it's been really, really beautiful. But one thing that's been happening in that time, I had a whole thing. Now, I've been consciously calling my power back as part of my practice for about 2 years, and it works. And one thing that's happened, it's been going on for about the last year. I had a whole experience in meditation where I became aware of a part of me that it felt like she was on the periphery of my energetic field, and I could sense her. And I could sense that she was a higher self part, and she was waiting to come in. So that's been going on over the last year. Then about, I don't know how many months ago, maybe midway through that process, maybe a few months ago, I came back here actually. I was in meditation again, and I was connecting because I've had this sense of things are changing, had this sense of myself changing, like in the process of letting go. When you consciously let go of your personality constructs, all the ways that it wants to control things, and you let go of the identities that we've always had, the space that's created, it's literally like, okay, so true self can come through. That's the space for the soul to come through, the spirit. So I had a sense of this merging process that's been going on multidimensionally. It's really wild. And then a few months ago in the meditation, all of a sudden she's right here. She was literally on my left, like a light being, like a body. And I was like, whoa. The only time I've ever seen like a light being that close to me in that way was when I was on the medicine with ayahuasca, and I had a whole team of light beings that I could just watch working on me under my blanket. So that's the only time that I've ever seen clearly a being like that, and I knew it was her. And I got guided to ask her name, and she is Dulcie. Right. It's like, okay. And I felt I was able to feel into her and communicate a bit more with the energy, with her consciousness. I was like, Dulcie. She was like, I'm your spirit. I'm a higher consciousness, higher aspect of your spirit, of your divine nature. And I have a codex for you that your consciousness is only just now ready to receive. It's like, oh, wow, cool. And I was feeling into it, and I've known for the last few months that it's to do with, because in that moment I felt her, it was like I was her for a moment, or she was fully merged just for a few seconds. And I felt the gap between me, Sarah, now, and Dulcie's consciousness, okay? And it was like, there wasn't a huge difference. She's just like a powered up version of me. But her codes, it's something to do with my voice, how I share, how I speak. I was like excited about that. I was like, wow, because for a long time, a major part of the feminine journey is to reclaim the voice. So it was really exciting for me. I was like, yeah, bring it on, embracing that. Then I went to Glastonbury, and I've had some really, like, the land held me, the great mother, the goddess, held me through a process of removing the fear that was still in my body at a very core level of that authentic expression. Part of that initiation and that release was releasing a lot of rage. Like, I've been, especially when we were in the orchard at the bottom of the tour, that was a very, very intensely beautiful but challenging time. So intense. I felt like a cornered animal that couldn't get away from that last bit of darkness that was held in my system. You have to get this out now. It has to come out. And I was shown all the ways in my life that I've always numbed and blocked from feeling that feeling. The healing of a lifetime, right? So I've been on my hands and knees screaming rage to the earth. 111. I have given everything to the earth there, as much as was available to me. I screamed it out. It was so satisfying, liberating. And after that, I went through a process with my voice, and I started singing in the Chalice Well and at the top of the tour. And something started to open. Now, on one day, and this is a side note, because I just want to say to you, like, some of the things that are potential for us are not things that are conscious. We don't identify with it, right? In one day, when I was just randomly sounding my voice in a different way, in that new way, singing, letting certain, because I've always toned, I do light language, but this was different. Singing, I've never sung, I'm not a singer. I've always been very, like, almost afraid of letting my own voice out. 2 different men said to me, your voice is absolutely beautiful. It really moved me, like something moved in me. And I was like absolutely blown away to receive that. It just shifted something in me. I thought, I've never looked at myself like that, right? So it was really powerful. And it was a bit like a permission slip or an opening of my consciousness to receive the fact that that's a gift. I've got a gift coming online. So that happened. There was this whole activation with the voice. Then I've come back, got blocked from going back. I was going to go back, but a whole spirit basically was like, no, you need to stay here. And you need to look after your body and integrate everything that's happened and allow the space for what wants to come through. Things are changing. And it's really imperative now that you stay on your own, in your own space, and nourish this. And it's like a completion. And what I've been expecting with Dulcie, you know, this isn't a name change. It's not. I'm not in that. I'm not, and it's not about that. But I've named her. She has a name, and she's a part of me, which I've not known until now. So I'd been feeling like I'm being squeezed, or like there was going to be a mic drop moment or a pop, like I'm literally going to pop or burst with something new. Really weird feeling. But in the last week or so, what I've been guided to do, because I'm just in a practice now, I am devoted to becoming the new human and living, and that is the next level human, right? The full version of ourself, our true capacity, true potential. So that's what I'm doing anyway. I'm devoted to that. So that's a case of living fully in your body and spirit guidance, constantly listening, constantly pulling your attention back and directing that by design and resourcing the body. And through that process, I was guided, like, it's like, right, okay, just for this day, you're going to share. If you're guided to speak, then you're going to trust spirit and you're going to trust yourself and you're just going to share your channel. So I set up this little space. My son's just moved out. So now I've got the loft space, which is quite nice. So I set my little space up. I set my altar. You know, I'm facing the east. I'm like, okay, that's the space for it. And then I just left it for about 3 days. I kept coming up here and frankincense and preparing and saying a prayer, and then I'd wander off again. Then some stuff started to come through. I just felt called to share, you know, Facebook, whatever. And then I got guided very clearly. If you follow your guidance, surrender your mind, move Sarah out of the way, who, bless her, loves to get control. She wants to know what it looks like. She wants to set it up. She wants to know what she's going to say first. She wants to be in charge, because that's what the human, the ego, wants to do. It wants to control things. It likes the identity, doesn't it? And that kind of structure. And it's like, no. Move aside. Get out of your own way. So I've been pushed out of my own way and just asked to speak, just asked to share my heart, to share my codes, to share what wants to come through, to share my channel. I've stopped listening to other people, because then there might be a part of me that thinks, oh, do I have to do it like that? Or do I have to do it like this? No, we are all here to bring through our uniqueness. Within who we are uniquely, when we fully own that and open to that, that's our signature frequency in this world. That's what this world needs. That's what the earth needs, for all of us as a beautiful symphony, harmony, to come together with our unique frequency, our unique thread, our unique contribution. And I was told that if you allow that, if you do as you're told, then, and that's the only but it's the only obey that would ever come into my life, is to obey spirit, to obey God, to obey my body and what she is telling me she wants to do, she wants to experience, and what she needs. That's God. That's divine. That's the point of all truth, inner truth. So following that, it was like, if you follow that and do this, that is the process through which, that's the space that you will create, your channel will open, and that space will allow Dulcie to integrate. It will allow her codes to come through. And no, you don't know what that's going to look like, but you don't need to. It's not about you. Get out of your own way. So it's been a really interesting process. So I'm kind of different. We're all different. We're evolving. We're not the same people as we were last month. And the accelerated magic that's available is that's just gonna keep rolling. And we are learning. Part of the next level human, or whatever you want to call it, is us learning to roll with that, because we're so fluid. We're not attached to anything, so we can just be constantly open for the next miracle, and open to be present. That's it. Just be present. A clear, beautiful mind and awakened, aware presence in the heart, so that we are open to receive the guidance, open to receive the miracles, open to receive the solutions, and receive ourselves in truth. And our unique magic that wants to birth in this world to help humanity, to help consciousness expand. So it's been a really beautiful journey. So I'm here, same me, same name, but different, more expanded. There's more parts of me and there's more parts of you. What I want now, and my intention really for this, is to come back onto this channel in fluidity. I'm just going to show up and open my channel. I bring source consciousness through. I do not connect to anything other than the organic, divine, solar, Christ, Sophianic frequency, and I work with the earth. There's no middleman, there's no modalities, there's no interference, and there's nothing in between. And that's what I teach as well, is to cultivate, nurture the individual divine relationship. That's the most important relationship of your life, because it mirrors who you truly are, gives you your purpose. When we have a deep divine relationship that we are devoted and committed to, we have no choice but to see ourselves as divine. And that is our access for all of our authority, our grace, and our wisdom. So it's the most important relationship, and that's the space that I inhabit. It's the space that I speak and work from, share from, and that's how I connect and what I will always share, because that is true for me. You are always the Mars. Doesn't matter what modalities you use, it's all only ever a tool. It's only ever a tool. There will never be any authority in your command for anything unless you are coming from that pure, organic connection that only you can cultivate through your commitment and your practice. So a little bit of a rebrand, I guess. And I just want to show up on here and be present with you. If you resonate with this, if you found this, if you've already, you're, like I said, one of my OGs, or whether you've just finding this because it resonates, and that's where we're at now. Everything is resonance. It's a felt experience. It's beyond the mind, and we go beyond the mind. We go beyond the mind here. And the more we learn, we know nothing, but we're everything and nothing at the same time. And I would really just like to share and walk with you. We're all going through similar things, in the sense that our lives might be very different as women, for example, but we're all part of the feminine psyche, the fragmented feminine psyche that's being integrated into wholeness. So we're all at some point or the other, in our own unique individual ways, going to be facing the same issues, the same mirrors, the same reflections, the same threads, the same themes, because we're part of the collective, and that's what's happening here. The collective consciousness is going through radical, massive healing, purging, realization. So we're all going to be feeling that in our own unique ways. The time has gone for me, myself, and I in my mind, the defensiveness, the guardedness. Whilst we honor all of that, it's really time to, wherever we find that bit of resonance, that heartfelt resonance, to expand that, to gather together, whether it's here or wherever, your tribe, find your tribe. And it's very, very accessible now. There are so many people feeling more called to open up and share. When one person does that, it has a ripple effect. Never underestimate the effect of your vulnerability, showing up as you truly are, telling people how you really feel from your heart. It's such a catalyst. It's alchemy. It's like, wow, it's inspirational. It gives someone else permission to be truly who they are too, just for a moment, just to allow themselves that vulnerability. And that's where the strength really is, and the true healing, and the true opportunities for deeper understanding of self. So yeah, it's such a blessed, exciting, expansive time to be alive. And let's just walk and share together and experience this stuff together. You know, because as we weave in that way, like, I'm so grateful for all of you and anyone who's ever received. We've shared space. It's that sacred reciprocity, because it's like, I can't do this without you. I can, but it's like a piece of art that never has anyone to look at it, never gets put in a gallery, never gets appreciated. It's like the physics, quantum physics. It's like the nature of reality. Like, it's, unless you observe something, it doesn't exist. It's in the sharing that something new is created, and the expansion. It's so beautiful, and this is what we're here for. So I just feel really grateful and really appreciative for everything at the moment, every opportunity, even the challenges, even the rage, the sadness, the stuff that's uncomfortable, deeply, deeply uncomfortable. It's all there to refine us and show us, by the contrast, what it is that we truly want and deserve. You know, and that's what we're doing here. We are crafting ourselves into the version that knows fully, completely and totally that he has come here to live on purpose. And you know what? We designed ourselves for this. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for receiving. And yeah, I love you all. And I'm so excited. I'm actually full. Life feels full of promise again. We get over that tipping point. You know, it's like old world, start to feel the new, start to embody it a little bit more. It starts to become more real, but the old's still a pain in the ass. And then you just, all right, okay, so I'll focus more on the new, more on the new, more on the new. And then we get to this point where it's like 50-50. And then you keep going, you keep persisting, you keep believing and investing. And then you go over the tipping point, and then most of life, you're in the higher frequency, you're in the 5D or beyond. We're not moving out of the 3, but we don't identify with it anymore. It doesn't touch me emotionally anymore, very, very rarely. And if it does, it's for another reason. So it's like then the newness is the reality. That's where we are most loyal to. And from then on, it's just ease. It becomes easy. It can be easeful, and it is. So keep going, keep believing, keep reminding yourself, keep grounding, keep breathing, because it's all here. It's just a consciousness shift away. That is it. And that's what we're doing here. I am a mirror for your remembrance. And in this process, I remember myself too. I'm a reflection. And we're all here to walk each other home, share our codes, love ourselves deeper, nurture the body, be patient, bring the deepest acceptance and compassion in for yourself, for your human, as we walk this journey. It's getting a bit wild. So we have to be anchored in discernment, truth of heart for you. What does that mean for you? What is that for you? So thank you. That's my little reintroduction over. Sending you infinite love. Shiatara mushku. Till next time.